It takes a forensic eye to pick up on errors, and so it was Chris Rudge who was reviewing a report by the federal government in August. The report by consultancy firm Deloitte was handed to the government a month earlier, and the Sydney Uni law lecturer was going through it line by line.
And so I just continued to study the footnotes, and they just continued 1, 2, 3, 4. In the end, there were more than 20 mistakes. I recognised many of the references because they're names of my colleagues, and I'm in the area. It's all about regulation. And as soon as I saw that books were attributed to my colleagues that I'd never heard of, I quickly concluded that they were fabricated.
This was no ordinary report. After the robo-debt scandal, in which the former coalition government unlawfully pursued welfare recipients, the Albanese government commissioned Deloitte to review the welfare compliance system. And it came at a hefty price tag of $440,000. But it turns out Deloitte used AI to produce the report, causing the mistakes.
I think it's a breach of integrity, a breach of trust.
Among the errors, Chris found the report wrongly referred to a key federal court case and misquoted the judge.
No such paragraphs exist, and then there's a quote here of 4 or 5 lines, which is completely fictitious.
Chris says it also got another judge's name wrong.
There is a speech attributed to Justice Natalie Coujas Perry, but in fact, Her Honour Justice Perry's first name is Melissa, and the speech attributed to Her Honour does not exist.
Chris says the report also made up citations. One of the academics cited was law professor Lisa Burton Crawford.
So this is my book, The Rule of Law and the Australian Constitution, and the report attributes a book to me called The Rule of Law and Administrative Justice in the Welfare State, a study of Centrelink.
Does that book exist?
No.
So it's a fake book?
Yes, I've never written a book with that title.
This is a really classic example of an AI hallucinating. So a hallucination is when a model produces output that is potentially incorrect, incomplete, or not what you would expect. And in this case, it has produced citations that don't exist. They're not real documents out there.
This year, Deloitte Australia reported revenue of $2.5 billion, and it's been awarded 48 new government contracts worth $57.8 million. But the company's error has again raised questions about why governments choose to use private consultancy firms over the public service.
A government paying that much money for a report of this kind that is going to be relied upon in formulating policy would expect that there was a significant degree of human oversight.
The worry is that the secretary or the minister who would be guided by the report doesn't detect the errors and kind of takes it at face value.
After Chris Rudge went public with the errors in the Australian Financial Review, the government asked Deloitte to correct the report. In the version reissued last week, Deloitte revealed it had used AI from Microsoft's Azure platform, licensed by the Department of Employment and Workplace Relations. In Senate estimates today, the government slammed Deloitte and said it would move to ensure consultants declare their use of AI and maintain quality assurance.
Is a clearly unacceptable act from a consulting firm, and this case highlights that we need to always be ensuring that departmental processes deal with that sort of emerging technology.
We should not be receiving work that has glaring errors in footnotes and sources. My people should not be double-checking a third-party provider's footnotes. Yeah. And so we expect them to have quality assurance processes that will pick those things up. I am struck by the lack of any apology to us.
This case raises a much bigger existential question. How can we know what the truth is? Right now, we're living in the age of what some refer to as AI slop. And unless AI becomes smarter, the distinction between what's real and what's fake could get, well, sloppier.
We're seeing this in academic writing, we're seeing this in the reviews of academic papers. We're also seeing this, for example, in the legal industry where some lawyers are producing and submitting evidence or documents that contain false quotes, false citations, false cases, and that's really scary. We might actually end up making decisions as a whole based off incorrect information that has been hallucinated.
And it's possible we may not be able to tell the difference.
It's really difficult to look at a report, look at a paper, and know whether or not it's been AI generated. There are tools out there that claim they can, but their efficacy and how well they work is really highly debated.
We asked Deloitte what percentage of the report was generated by AI and what this error means for the credibility of its research. The company wouldn't tell us, but said the matter has been resolved directly with the client. Deloitte has at least agreed to partially refund the government $97,000.
I think plenty of Australians out there are wondering why there hasn't been a full refund in view of this very poor quality work.
We felt that the substantial work done there that we had interrogated was fair and reasonable to pay for those deliverables, but the quality of the final report was not, which is why we asked for the final instalment to be repaid.
For really high stakes, really important pieces of work where we're submitting documents to the government that are going to implicate policy changes, we have to be really careful here in the ways that we are using AI.